Boom. What's up, everyone? Welcome back. Finally, the El Toro La Liga show is finally back after a few, like 2, 3 weeks. Mainly, well, the first week, like a couple weeks ago, I was really sick. That's why I didn't do like the final matches of the league phase of the Champions League. And as well as I wasn't able last week as well. But now I'm finally back. I know I did like an hour delay, so it's like 7 o'clock now in Spain. But we'll kick on. We'll kick on. Obviously, we are previewing, obviously, as we always do on this show, the La Liga matches. So as I do always do in these El Toro shows, is that you guys can vote which game I can be doing a watch long this weekend. And the games I have for you guys to be voting in the live poll, we have Villarreal against Valencia, which is going to be a derby, obviously, so have to put it in there. We have Espanyol against Athletic Club, and then we have the two island groups of Mallorca in the Baleares, Islas Baleares. That's what I was trying to say, and Las Palmas in Las Palmas. Two different island groups of Spain going against each other in La Liga. So those are the games I'm doing. You guys can vote in the live poll. We'll first put a comment up. FC25, probably his first comment in my chat, but yeah, I basically said big up to me. So I said, obviously, thanks. But yeah, this is obviously a show whereby I preview all of the La Liga games. So hopefully we can get through it. And obviously we'll start actually without wasting any time. 3 minutes in. Let's start with the first game of the match day, the match week. We have Girona against Getafe. Both teams are, I would say, quite even. I would say, even though the win probability says otherwise. In terms of the last 5 games, because obviously I didn't preview much of both teams or any team the past couple of weeks. But Girona's record so far hasn't been that great over the last 5 games. They've only won 2 of the last 3. Lost in the previous game against Real Sociedad, I believe. And then Getafe have actually been unbeaten. The team that I said should be relegated are now like 5 points clear of the drop and unbeaten in 5. So they're in a good run of form right now. And it could be a good time for them to play Girona, who are not in great form, I'll be honest with you. In terms of win probability, it says 48% to Girona to only Getafe 22, even though of the form table suggesting otherwise. But some insights heading into the game, Girona have not lost any of their 4 home meetings against Getafe in La Liga. So they've won 3 games, drawn 1, which is actually a pretty good record they have at home. So that does really, really favor Girona. And obviously Girona are high up in the league. Getafe have never kept a clean sheet in their 4 away games at Girona. 8 goals conceded, only the Metropolitano and El Moñón in Gijón, and obviously Sporting Gijón in La Liga at the moment, in the Segunda. So yeah, Getafe doesn't have a good record, I'll be honest. And following the 1-0 win at the Coliseum back in November, Girona could pick up 2 wins in a row against Getafe for the first time in La Liga. Girona have now won each of the last 6 home games played on a Friday, which is actually a very good record they have at the moment, while Getafe have not won any of the last 8 away games on a Friday in La Liga. 4 draws and 4 losses. And finally, Girona have lost 10 of their first 23 games in La Liga this season, the highest such tally at this stage this season. So it's actually, in terms of the amount of losses they've had, Girona, it's not been great. But I'll be honest, a lot of the stats do favor Girona, and despite the good form that Getafe have been on, I will be honest with you guys. I do think that Girona will get the win in this game, and I'll probably would go with a. I'll go with a 2-0. I'll go 2-0 for Getafe. That'll be my prediction. 2-0 to no, not Getafe. I always they both start with a G as well. Yeah, Girona. That's what I meant. 2-0 Girona. That's what I'm trying to say. 2-0 Girona. That is my prediction. All right, the next game we have is Leganés against Alavés. Both teams are in, I don't know how would I say, probably not in the greatest form, but not terrible. Well, Alavés is in the relegation zone at the moment. But actually, Alavés has just a slight edge over Leganés in the win probability ratio, only 32%. So Leganés has less of a chance winning at home. But both teams, we have to scroll all the way down to the table. Basically, the relegation dogfight. This is a 6-pointer for both teams. Alavés are actually below Valencia in the table, which we'll talk about Valencia and how well they've been mostly, apart from whenever they play Barcelona. But yeah, Alavés just not been great, honestly, and it's been a really poor season from them. Leganés, you kind of expect them to be around this area of the table, but the back-to-back losses they've had has not really helped them, despite beating Atleti a few weeks ago, the game I watched on for about 4 weeks ago or something. But yeah, it's not great for both teams at the moment. Now, some of the insights, our thoughts into the game. Leganés have won 2 and drawn 7 of the 9 matches against Alavés in La Liga. They're most for unbeaten games and draws. Yeah, so actually this game is more known for drawing than Leganés winning. But Leganés have not lost this fixture. So it's actually a pretty good stat that they can go into this game. Alavés have won 2 of the last 3 meetings against Leganés, even though that was probably both home wins for Alavés, but obviously they're away in this game. Now, Leganés have scored in all of the 9 matches against Alavés in La Liga, which is actually a pretty good record. So when you think about it, you would back Leganés to score in this game, which is a pretty good record. Really good record because it says no other opponent have done that in La Liga at the moment. All right. Just checking some messages. Leganés have failed to win any of the last 3 La Liga matches, losing the last 2, obviously, but they have not lost 3 in a row since the end of September of this season. And then finally, Alavés have only earned 21 points in the first 23 La Liga games, which is the second lowest ever, actually. It's equaling the 98-99 records and just ahead of the 17 points they only had at this stage in 21-22. So yeah, it's not been great for Alavés so far this season, which is actually not helped that they are kind of struggling at the moment. But so too, you could say for Leganés. I'll be honest, I think the stats do favor a lot more towards Leganés, and I'm going to back Leganés in this game. So I'm going to predict a 2-1. I'll say 2-1 Leganés will win the game at home. 2-1 Leganés will be my prediction. All right, up next, Just let me check. We have Osasuna against Real Madrid. Obviously, both teams, um, you know, I would say been a bit decent-ish as of late. You can look over here, Osasuna down in ninth, but they've been unbeaten in the last 4 games, so not the worst, but definitely could have been better. Real Madrid are still top of La Liga despite being winless in the last 2 games. So not great from Real Madrid at all. Obviously, they lost to, I believe, Espanyol and drew with Atleti, who are in second. So in terms of win probability, I mean, obviously you would know it would favor Real Madrid, 60%, Osasuna only 18. So here are some of the insights into this game. Osasuna have not won any of the last 19 meetings against Real Madrid in La Liga, the longest winless one in the La Liga at the moment. So not great from Osasuna. Real Madrid have not lost any of the last 9 away games against Osasuna. So look, everything's in the favor of Real Madrid. Now, Real Madrid have won their last 4 games against Osasuna in La Liga, scoring 4 goals in each of the last 3. So, yeah, it's a pretty good record that they have at the moment against Osasuna. Is there anything good about Osasuna in this fixture? Well, Osasuna have drawn 7 the last 10 La Liga matches, so maybe they can pick up a draw in this game. Who knows? And obviously, Real Madrid have dropped points in their last 2 La Liga matches and have not failed to win 3 in a row since November 2020 under Zinedine Zidane. And that was during COVID, I believe. So look, the stats just don't favor Osasuna. However, I don't know, for some reason, this Real Madrid team can be get at, I'll be honest. And I think maybe Osasuna could actually give them a good game. I'll be honest. I know I didn't put it in the live poll, which you guys can vote, obviously. But I would probably actually think that Osasuna could actually do something in this game. I could see it being a draw. So I'm actually going to back a draw in this game. I'm probably going to predict a. I'll go 1-1. I'll go 1-1 draw. I think Osasuna will somehow find a way to get some bit of luck against Real Madrid. That'll be my prediction. 1-1. Atleti against Celta Vigo. So Atleti, Celta. Look at that massive win probability ratio for Atleti and only 12% for Celta Vigo. Good thing, but you never know. Atleti, look, they're not in the greatest run of form. They've only won 2 of the last 5 games. I know they played Real Madrid, but then they lost to Leganés, drew with Villarreal, I believe. So it's not been a great run of form in La Liga. And I wouldn't say they struggled in the Champions League, but they could have they would have possibly not even made the top 8, but they managed to by finishing 5th, I believe, or 6th. So they don't have to play this like midweek basically. But yeah, Atleti still in a very good spot at the moment in La Liga, ahead of Barcelona by 1 point and only 1 point behind Real Madrid. So you never know how this game will end up. Meanwhile, Celta Vigo, they finally picked up a win against Real Betis, obviously. It's against Anthony. But yeah, Celta Vigo, they've at least picked up some bit of form for themselves. Not amazing, I would say, but But yeah, Celta Vigo got a win for the first time in ages, I would say. So that for them would be good. Now let's go and think about the heading into the insights into this game. Atletico Madrid have not lost any of the last 12 meetings against Celta in La Liga. 9 wins, 3 draws. So look, it's amazing. Winning the last 7, which is the longest winning run against Celta Vigo in their history in La Liga. So it's a very, very good record, especially at home. Celta Vigo have not won any of the last 12 away games at Atleti. 3 draws. Oh, it's the same shit. The last win was actually in 2007. So it's just not been great. Meanwhile, Atleti have kept a clean sheet in the last 4 La Liga matches against Celta, which is actually the longest they've had against Celta Vigo. Could go even more, to 5 maybe. And then after 8 consecutive wins in La Liga, obviously Atleti did that. They have dropped points in 3 of the last 4 games in La Liga. Obviously, they've only won 1 game in La Liga in the past 4, so it's not been great, and they could have picked up form. They could have continued, or at least turned maybe a couple of those games that they didn't win into wins, but unfortunately they didn't. Celta Vigo won the last La Liga match 3-2 against Betis, as I said, having failed to win any of the last 4, as you saw in the league form table, and have not won 2 in a row in La Liga since, well, the first 2 games of the season. So Celta Vigo did not know how to win back-to-back games, which is not really a surprise because it's Celta. I'll be honest, I do think that Atleti will grab a very convincing win. I will be completely honest with you. I just feel like this Celta Vigo team isn't amazing, so I will go with, I think it could be a 3-0. So I'm saying 3-0 Atleti. 3-0 Atleti. That'll be my prediction. Up next, we have a derby, and one of the games that I put in the live poll, which you guys can vote. It is Villarreal against Valencia. Both teams obviously coming from the Valenciana, or the Comunidad de Valenciana, or basically the Valencian community, the region of one of the regions of Spain. Both teams are from there. Both are pretty nearby, not exactly nearby, but still pretty near to each other. So this is a big derby game between the two sides. Now, if you look at the win probability, it does heavily favor Villarreal. But both teams are actually, I'll be honest, are in a good run of form in the past 4 or 5 games. If you look, Villarreal in the last 4 games have picked up 3 wins, 1 draw. So that's been great. They've been able to maintain that 5th place spot, maybe still chasing Champions League football for them. Meanwhile, I know Valencia are still in the relegation zone, but they're also in the same sort of good run of form. 3 wins in 4 for Valencia, obviously picking up wins against, if I remember correctly, because I'm really bad. My memory is the worst sometimes. I think they've beaten Espanyol and Celta Vigo along the way, but obviously they did lose like 7-1, I think, to Barcelona, and then like 5-0 in the cup. But look, if you want to get rid of those 2 Barcelona results for Valencia, then Valencia have actually won every game in the last 3. Also, only lost 1 in the last 5. And now they've actually they're not in the top. I mean, not the top. Well, they're not in the bottom 2. For the first time in like ages. They've always been 19th and 20th for most of the season. But now Carlos Carbaron, the manager, is looking like he's building up some form for this Valencian side, even though the odds may be stacked against them. But here are some stats or insights heading into the game. Villarreal have lost only 1 of the last 6 games against Valencia in the derby, so they have a very good recent record against Valencia in the derby in the past 4 or 5 games, 6 games actually. At home, Villarreal have not lost any of the last 7 games against Valencia, 6 wins and 1 draw, and winning the last 5. So it's actually a good win streak they have against Valencia. Meanwhile, Villarreal are on their longest winning streak at home in derbies against Valencian sides, or Valencia basically. Valencia have lost 3 of the last 4 such games on the road with only 1 win. Valencia, no, not Valencia. Villarreal have collected points in the last 4 games actually, or picked up 3 wins basically, winning the last 2, and have not won 3 in a row since winning 4 in a row back in March last year. So, look, it's a good opportunity for Villarreal in the derby to do that. Meanwhile, Valencia won 3 of the last 4 La Liga matches, which is 1 more than the previous 26. Obviously, they've only got 2 wins in their first 20 or so games, first 19, halfway through the season, 2 wins only. But now they've picked up some good amount of form. Both teams are in a good run of form. But I do feel like home advantage will probably prevail for Villarreal. But I think this could be a very open game, I'll be honest. So I am going to predict a 3-2 win. 3-2 win for Villarreal. I think it will be a home win for them. 3-2 win for Villarreal. Up next, we have Espanyol against Athletic Club de Bilbao. Obviously, both these sides have been okay, I would say, since the new year. Only 18% in the win probability for Espanyol, and only up to 27. So Athletic Club are in a good situation with 55%. And obviously they're in the Champions League spots. They're in 4th place right now, 4 points behind Barcelona, 6 points behind Real Madrid, and should those 3 teams at the top drop points, maybe Athletic Club can take advantage if they could. But they've drawn 2 of the last 3 games, but they did win their previous game. And they're also 4 points ahead of 5th place Villarreal, who is chasing them most likely for that top 4 spot. Meanwhile, not Valencia, Espanyol are 23 points at the moment, 1 point above the relegation zone, same number of points as Las Palmas and Leganés. But look, despite their loss in their last game, which I believe, if I remember correctly, was against Valencia, I believe. Look, they got their 4 games. They did not lose, basically, Espanyol. So look, I don't know. I've always had a sneaky feeling that Espanyol will survive this season. But I feel like maybe not in this game exactly. But I do think that Espanyol are more than good enough to survive, I would say. I think that I wouldn't say that underrated or whatever, but and I'm wearing a Barcelona shirt talking about Espanyol. I'm just saying. But some insights heading into this game: Espanyol have lost 3 of the last 4 games against Athletic Club, only 1 win, 1 more defeat in the last previous 10 games against Basque sides. So that includes like Alavés, Sociedad, Athletic Club, and all that. Athletic have collected points in 5 of the last 6 visits at Espanyol, but it's actually been, they've only won 1 game away in that last 6, so not really that great. I don't know. I just feel like Espanyol are in it for a good spot. Espanyol have not lost any of the last 6 home games in La Liga. 3 wins, 3 draws, winning the last 2. So look, I think they're actually on a good run of form. And also they've not gone 7 games in a row without defeat at home since December 2021, when they won 6 and only drawn 1. So look, I think there's an upside with this Espanyol team heading into this game. Athletic Club have not lost any of the last 14 La Liga matches. Obviously, they got 8 wins and 6 draws, and they've had a very good run of form. Apart from that 1 game in the Europa League, which they lost, I think 4-1 against. I have to remember correctly, was Galatasaray, I think, or one of the Turkish clubs in the Europa League. But yeah, it's one of the longest unbeaten run. In a long time, since 1985. Espanyol are the team with the lowest average possession across the big 5 leagues in Europe, with only 38.3%. To be honest, that's a really meaningless stat, especially when they play at home now. Look, I'll be honest, I do think that there could be a possibility that Espanyol could do something. And I got a few chats as well. Big up to No Filter FC Charlie with his. I guess he has a new logo. It looks nice. At least it's looking better than Tottenham. But yeah, look, I'll be honest. I do think that Espanyol could actually get something. I know Athletic Club are on an unbeaten run. I think this could be a fun, entertaining game, and obviously I have the game in the live poll, which you guys can vote in. It's one of the 3 games you guys can vote. Can I be honest with you? I think that Espanyol could maybe not. I wouldn't say win, but they will go. I think they can go unbeaten in this game. So I'm going 2-2, a 2-2 draw. I think it will stumble Athletic Club in this game. Let me just quickly update something here. The timing of it. So I'm going for a 2-2 draw in this game between Espanyol and Athletic Club. That's what I was going to say. 2-2. Next, we have Valladolid against Sevilla. Obviously, look, I know 24% favorable for Real Valladolid compared to Sevilla's 48 and 28% draw. But look, well, we'll talk about Sevilla a bit later. But look where Valladolid are, mate. The 6 points behind Alavés. They are 8 points from safety, minus 33 goal difference, which is actually even worse than most teams. Look, the goal difference of the teams in the bottom 6, minus 10, minus 13, minus 13, minus 13, minus 10. And then you have minus 33, mate. 15 goals scored. This Valladolid team is not great at all. They are absolutely terrible in La Liga. 16 losses. Look, I think that they're relegated, I'll be honest. I do not think they're going to survive, even with this home game against Sevilla. But look, when we talk about Sevilla, it seems like they're in a okay situation. They actually, the previous game, which was against Barcelona, and they lost 4-1, was actually their first loss of 2025. So they were actually on a good unbeaten one, even though there were mostly draws in it, but still unbeaten for Sevilla. Now, if we look at the some of the game's pre-match insights, it says that Valladolid have not beaten Sevilla since 2012. Like exactly, right? Exactly. Sevilla have not lost any of the last 12 La Liga games against Valladolid, 6 wins, 6 draws, and if they avoid defeat, that'll be actually the longest streak against any side in La Liga. Previously achieved against 2 teams. Shit, they put in Deportivo La Coruña, and Cadiz. Not great from that board, but hopefully, whenever we come back to La Liga, hopefully we can beat them. Sevilla have won 3 of the last 4 away games at Valladolid in La Liga, 1 draw, obviously. 1 more than the previous 21 visits before. So look, before they didn't really have a good record, but now they do. They do. Valladolid have now lost the last 4 La Liga games and have not lost 5 in a row since basically getting relegated in the 22-23 season in May 2023, losing 5 in a row. Yeah, I think that might happen this time, I feel like. Sevilla have collected points in the last 2 La Liga games, 1 win, 1 draw, after losing the previous 3 before that, and have not gone 3 in a row without defeat on the road since last year in April, with 2 wins, 2 draws. And I'll be honest with you, people, I think Sevilla could get a nice big win here. I'm going for a 4-1. I think it will be it will not be a good game for Valladolid. I'll be honest with you. I do not think they will survive the onslaught of Sevilla in this game. So I'll say 4-1. Up next, we have the islands. Not exactly that. Well, actually, they're actually all islands. We have Mallorca against Las Palmas, and before we do, we'll get into the chat. Yeah, new logo. Good. Anything is looking better than Tottenham at the moment. Sociedad winning. We'll see. We'll see. Actually, because I don't have the games on what you call it, the background. But yeah, in regards to Sociedad, I won't talk about it until it happens. Like actually, the footballing gods put it together. So I won't speak it into existence in the live games or whatever. But heading into this game, Mallorca against Las Palmas, Look, both teams, I'll be honest, if I remember, Mallorca are in one of the worst forms in a long time, even though they have a 55% chance of winning and Las Palmas only 18%. But you have to score. Do you guys remember when Mallorca were like fifth at one point? Yeah, now they're down in 10th. 3 losses and a draw in the last 4. Obviously, they lost like 4-0, I believe, against Villarreal a few weeks ago. It's just not been a great run of form. They did draw in the last game against Osasuna 1-1, but they should have won that. So look, they're not in a great run of form. But when you talk about not great runs of form, Las Palmas, or actually, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Las Palmas are the only team to have not won any of the last 5 games. They are the only team now in La Liga. Yeah, it's a battle of the islands. Look, I said Las Palmas are the only team in the last 5 games. They have not picked up a single win. Every other team in La Liga has. Even Valladolid have a win. That shows how bad it's been for Las Palmas. And look, away from home, it doesn't look good. But let's see. Maybe some insights can help. Mallorca have not lost any of the last 3 games against Las Palmas. Yeah, not great. Las Palmas have won 1 of the last 7 away games at Mallorca. Their last win was back in 2001. Terrible. 3-0 though, but not great. Mallorca have not won any of the last 4 La Liga matches, as I said, but the same shit can be said about Las Palmas. And have not gone 5 or more without a win since May 2024, so the end of last season. Las Palmas have lost 4 of the last 5 La Liga matches, obviously gotten that one draw, scoring exactly 1 goal in actually all of the last 5 games. So each of those 5 games, they've scored at least 1 goal. But again, they haven't won, so that's the thing. Having not lost any of the previous 4 previously to that. So look, it's been a downfall of a downhill form for them. Las Palmas are, along with Alavés, one of 2 teams in La Liga that have conceded the most penalties. Damn. Okay, I actually didn't know that. 8 penalties conceded each. This is the highest tally after their first 23 games since 05-06. Damn. Okay, it's not a great stat, but whether a penalty will be given to Mallorca, we'll find out. But if they are, then Mallorca will probably score. I'll be honest. Look, it's the battle of the islands. Both teams are a bit shit at the moment. I'll be honest with you guys. I forgot to remove. Sorry, I have to remove your comment because it's been a while. But yeah, it's been shit. It has been shit for Las Palmas and also for Mallorca. But I just think just maybe a little bit of better quality from Mallorca will probably see them through. I'll be honest. I'll probably go with a 2-1 win for Mallorca. A home win for Mallorca will be my prediction for this game between the 2 sides. And then obviously up next on Sunday, 9 o'clock kickoff in Spain, we have the Real clubs, Real Betis against Real Sociedad. This is the battle of the GOAT, and I know Sociedad are playing right now. Actually, let me check the score right now, because Charlie said halftime they're beating Michelin stars of Denmark 2-1 away. Who scored? Probably Kubo's one of them. Yeah, Kubo's one of them, and Bryce Mendes scoring, and then Adam Butsa scoring for Michelin stars. But Sociedad winning 2-1 at halftime as we speak. And as we speak, let's talk about Sociedad and their opponents this Sunday against Betis. It's actually quite even, I'll be honest. 38 for Betis, 32 for Sociedad, 30 draw. But both teams look not great. Sociedad finally picked up a win after a long time, I'll be honest with you guys. Three losses in a row has not been great, but they did pick up a win, as I said. Betis, not in a great run of form, but they do have the GOAT Anthony, I will say, who got a goal and an assist. He's been MVP, I think, in both games for Betis. So, look, it's looking good, maybe. And look, if Betis win, they actually go above Sociedad. That's the thing. Sociedad have probably been one of them, and actually, these are the two most disappointing teams. Girona, I know that it's probably the same compared to last season, but I kind of expected it from Girona. But Sociedad and Betis are the two teams that have really disappointed this season in La Liga when you think about, them being in Europe and all that sort of stuff. Betis have failed to win any of the last 4 meetings against Sociedad in La Liga, 2 draws, 2 losses, failing to score on all of them. So it's been a bad run against Sociedad. Sociedad have won the last 2 games against Betis in La Liga, so they have a chance to go 3 in a row against them for only the 3rd time in history, doing that in a 7-8-8 and 2016 and 17. So kind of recent, obviously. Betis have not won their last 6 games against Basque opponents, 3 draws, 3 losses. So not a great record against those sort of teams. Obviously, Sociedad are based in San Sebastian, which is probably the most expensive city in Spain. If you want to know how to say it in Basque, I think it's Donostia. But Betis have not won any of the last 5 home games in La Liga, so not great. Having won 4 of the previous 5 before that, obviously that being before the new year and all. And they have not gone 6 in a row without a home win in the competition since 2016. So it's not been great. It's not really been that great for Betis. Sociedad have lost the last 3 away games in La Liga, as many defeats as they have in the previous 13, and have not lost 4 in a row on the road in La Liga since 2018. It is a bit tough. It is a bit tough to call, I would say. I don't know if the Europa League game that's happening for Sociedad, and I know Real Betis play later tonight in like an hour and a half or so. I have to check. I'm pretty sure they play tonight. Yeah, they go away at Ghent. So both teams playing today. Obviously, Sociedad playing now, Betis a bit later. Look, I don't know how much rotation there will be in this game, or for both teams actually. So I might have to settle on the fence here. I could see it being a 0-0. I'll be honest with you, because both teams have been a little bit disappointing to watch overall this season. So I'm probably going with a 0-0. I think this will be not a great game. But Anthony is the GOAT. 0-0 will be my prediction for this game. And the final game of the match week in La Liga, it is Barcelona. Let me show you guys. Barcelona against Leganés, and I do have Leganés. Not Leganés. Vallecano. Rayo Vallecano. And look, we'll talk about both teams because they're actually in a good bit of form, actually. Barcelona, 3 wins in a row, which is kind of unheard of in the past 2-3 months of them. But they have picked up form finally. Obviously, big wins, 7-1 and 5-0, both times being against Valencia. And they're only 2 points from the top. So now they've really clawed themselves back. But they have to keep winning games to pile on the pressure on both of the Madrid clubs. But they do host a Madrid-based team, that being Rayo Vallecano, who are 6th. They are 6th place, Vallecano, which is amazing to see. Ever since I bought a Vallecano shirt, they've been unbeaten in their previous 9 games. I know that stat because I've been following Vallecano. If I was, look, I'm a Deportivo La Coruña fan, base of all Spanish clubs. But look, I have a soft spot for Vallecano. I to be honest, I've been to the stadium, but not to a game. But I should. But look, and I feel like they're actually a bogey team of Barcelona. But it's kind of nice getting to see both teams high up in the table. Obviously, Vallecano being 13 points behind Barca, but look, Vallecano, or playing some good football as well. There's no stats or insights heading into this game, but I just know that in the previous game, this game played at Vallecas. The game ended 2-1. It was back in August or September for Barcelona, getting that crucial win that continued building that win streak they had early on in the season. Vallecano, maybe not the greatest of times for them at that time, but now they're in a good spot as a club, chasing Europe. I hope they get into Europe by any means. I mean, if they get Champions League, that'll be amazing. I don't see it happening, but look, it could happen. It could happen. Heading into this these games. So my prediction for this game, I'm going for I could see, I don't know. I'll go another narrow 2-1 win for Barcelona. 2-1 home win for Barcelona will be my prediction for that game. Now it is time. Now we've recapped or previewed actually of the games. Now it is time to talk about the El Toro de la Semana, the bull, the man of the week. And obviously that's based on what happened in the previous match week. If I will be honest, I don't really know who I might actually pick. I don't know. I feel like just because they continue to 9 games unbeaten, I might have to pick a Vallecano player. Maybe not Rivera. I don't know. I actually didn't really have much thought on it. Maybe Getafe with Arambari with the penalty. But I could go with Barcelona. I could go with Barcelona as well. But you know what? I think I'll go with. Okay, I think I have a good selection. It's the guy that scored the second goal, Mokhtar Diakabi of Valencia. Mokhtar Diakabi of Valencia wins my El Toro de la Semana. Obviously scoring the second goal in the game against Leganés, which really sealed the game, but he played very well in that game as well from the highlights I saw. And look, and it really puts Valencia back in, at least now, in the relegation dog scrap instead of like being cut adrift like Valladolid or as usual. So yeah, he wins my El Toro de la Semana. Maybe not many choices, but I'll go with him in that one. Now, it is time to talk about the Segunda. Let me just search it up and show you guys the Segunda. Let me just quickly show you guys the results that happened over the previous weekend in the Segunda, because obviously, these teams, 3 of these teams will be in La Liga next season, as you are obviously. But here were the results. Obviously, so the Segunda has been crazy this year. And we'll talk about the table as well. But the games from last week, this past weekend, we have Albacete beating Real Zaragoza, the usual mid-table Segunda team now, Zaragoza. Unfortunate. Castellón finally got a win and away at Racing Ferrol, the Galician club. So look, it does push Ferrol really, really in a bad situation of not surviving in the Segunda after only 2 years here. We have Granada and Mirandas drawing 0-0, so not a great result for either team trying to push for the promotion spots, the automatic ones as well. At the same time, we also had Levante traveling at Malaga and getting a 1-1 draw. We also had Sporting Gijón drawing 0-0 with Eibar. So look, not great. All these draws don't help either team, I'll be honest. Eibar only just picking up really anything now. Elche beating Tenerife 2-0 in a very crucial game, which really does help Elche's chances. So Elche having a very good weekend, trying to push for that promotion spots if they can. We have probably the shock of the weekend, I would say. We have Burgos getting a massive, massive win against Racing Santander, who are actually now top of the Segunda. So Burgos getting a big, big win because they're not in the relegation zone, but they're like near the bottom of it, in the threat of it. And then you have Huesca traveling to Cordoba and getting a 2-1 win. Very crucial win, which also has been a good weekend for Huesca. We had Cadiz beating Cartagena, the bottom side of the Segunda, Cartagena, 5-2 win for Cadiz. So now they're picking up some form, but it does seem like they're just probably going to not get back into La Liga, I'll be honest, but we'll see. But obviously, the big one I like, Deportivo La Coruña, we have beaten Almeria 3-1. We won 3, well, we were at halftime 3-0 up, therefore. Our new signing, Zakaria, scoring on his home debut against Almeria. We also had Yeremay Hernandez, who has been linked with Chelsea. That's why you saw Fabrizio Romano talked about Yeremay. And obviously David Maya, the Spain U19 player that won the U19 Euros and I think the Olympics as well, or one of the two. No, I'm pretty sure it's the Olympics then. Look, we got a very big win, and we're in a good bit of form actually. We're in the top 10, finally, which is quite nice. And then you had Oviedo drawing 0-0 at home against Aldense, and Aldense are in the relegation zone. Oviedo trying to get into the promotion spot, so not great. Now, if we want to look at the table, because it's bloody tight, that's what she said, because obviously Valentine's Day is coming up in a few hours, actually. We, in the top two, obviously the top two get automatically promoted. So we have, despite their loss to Burgos, Racing Santander are still at the top of the Segunda. They finally picked up some good form, but obviously they lost. So not great from them. But not bad. Not bad to be where they are now, but could have been better. Huesca or in that other automatic spot, and they're a bit of a surprise as well, Huesca. Probably even Santander, if you want to say as well. So, look, before it was two different teams. Before we had Almeria and Mirandes, and look where they are now. They're 4th and 6th. So, look, it's a really, really tight battle for that promotion spot. But at the moment, it is Racing Santander and Huesca in the top 2 to get the automatic spots. And then 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th going to the playoff. At the moment, it is Elche, Mirandes, Real Oviedo, and Almeria, only separated by 2 points. But Almeria, if they get a win and all the teams above them lose, Almeria go up to 2nd. That's how big of a win can be over a weekend. And obviously Almeria are not in great form now. Levante only 1 point behind as well. So even if they win and certain goal difference helps them, they could go from 7th, not in the playoffs, and go to the automatic spots, which is crazy. We also have Granada, 41 points. So they're still kind of in it. If they win, obviously, they can go into the playoff spots by the end of this coming weekend. We have Sporting Gijón, 36. So now teams are a bit falling behind. But we are chasing them. We are chasing them now. Therefore, we have finally won back-to-back games, unbeaten in the last 3. Our next game is away at Eldense, who did get a draw against Oviedo. But if we beat them, and I am planning to go to our home game against Huesca, Deportivo against Huesca, not this weekend, not this coming weekend, but the weekend after, the 23rd of February, so like 10 days from now. But we're actually in a very good spot there, Paul, which is kind of nice. Knock on wood, please. I hope we don't now go on like a 5-game losing run or something. Please. The biggest club in the Segunda, we should be, at least the playoff. But we'll see. We're like 9 points from the playoffs. But look, we beat Almeria, so it's not impossible. It's not impossible. We just need to build form. Look how inconsistent we are. 9 wins, 8 draws, 9 losses. Not great, but we're in the top 10. So at least the top half now. Zaragoza are in 11th on 34. Same thing with Cadiz and Albacete, 34 points. So look, even wins in this area of the table from 9th all the way down. You have Eibar on 14th with 33, Cordoba on 33 as well in 15th. 16th, you have Malaga. And look, Malaga have only won 6 games all season, but they've drawn 14. They're like the draw specialists of La Liga or the Segunda, I would say. So not great from Malaga in terms of draw merchants, but they are draw merchants of the Segunda. 14 draws is crazy. And look, even Castellon, 32. If they win, they will somehow be on the same points as us if we lose. And we're 10th, and they're 17th. That's crazy. And then Burgos on 30, and they are the team just above now the relegation zone. And they are now on a 5-point gap between the relegation zone because it's the bottom 4, 19th, 20th, 21st, and 22nd, all get relegated to the Primera Ref or the Tercera, if you want to call it that, the third tier of Spanish football. So Eldense on 25, Racing Ferrol on 22, and then Tenerife on 19. And it seems like Tenerife and Cartagena on 15 and bottom. These two, I think, are down. Racing Ferrol, I think if a couple more losses for them, I think can see them go down. Eldense maybe as well, and we play them. I hope we beat them. They're in the relegation zone and we're in the top 10. And we have to try to, push up the table, Depor. We travel at their ground. But yeah, that is the Segunda, and that also wraps up the La Liga show, the El Toro La Liga show today. We've had a good show. So obviously a big, massive shout out to both FC25 and to Charlie from No Filter FC for joining the live chat. In terms of the live poll, there's only been one vote, unfortunately. But I guess whoever gave me that one vote in the live poll, I'm going to end the poll right now. And the game, I believe, if it pops up, is I hope I see it. Where's the live poll? Where did it go? But that one vote, if it didn't update, I believe says that I will be doing Espanyol against Athletic Club. I have to remember what time exactly that game is. I think it's on Saturday as well, or Sunday. I have to remember. It's on Sunday, actually, at 2 o'clock Spain time. So that will be the game I'll be doing then. Espanyol hosting Athletic Club. That will be the game I will be doing a live watch long for on Sunday, the 16th of February at 2 o'clock Spain time, CET. But yeah, I'm going to wrap it up here, everyone. Thank you guys so much for watching. And I'll see you guys in that watch long between Espanyol and Athletic Club on Sunday at 2 p.m. Spain time. Peace. Ciao. Hasta domingo.